I want to thank you for being here with us for this weekly devotional. It's often that we find ourselves thinking about a difficulty or a situation that we're going through, and each one of us go through different situations that are difficult for us, that are hard for us to understand sometimes. We might ask the question why or what's it for, and for the most part, for each of us, it should be for us to grow, for us to be willing to call upon God and seek Him. But we forget about God. We forget about that willingness to be there. In Nahum, the first chapter, in verse 7, he said, "The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knows those who take refuge in Him." This idea of realizing that I need to take refuge, that I need to seek that refuge that God gives. But I must be seeking that refuge. I must be looking to God for that to be given to me, to seek it. He doesn't say that He will take the difficulties away. He doesn't say that He will remove all obstacles from us. So often that's what we look for. That's what we want. That's what we're seeking in our life, is for God to remove the obstacle from us. In Isaiah, the 41st chapter, starting in verse 8, he said, "But you, Israel, my servant, Jacob, who I have chosen, the offspring of Abraham, my friend, of whom I took from the ends of the earth and called from its furthest corners, saying to you, where are you, or where are you? Saying, you are my servant. I have chosen you and not cast you off. Fear not, for I am with you." This idea of being his servant, I am supposed to be one who is serving him. He's speaking to Jacob, or Israel itself, this idea that they were his people. They belonged to him. They were to look to him as God and seek him and acknowledge him. But he says to them, "You are my servant. I have chosen you and not cast you off." As children of God, we have been chosen of God. So he says this to him and to all men, to all those who are there with him, those who are his servants. He said, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." I want us to hear what he says. He says, "I'm your God." He said, "I will strengthen you. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." This idea that he says he will give me strength. He doesn't say he will remove the problem. He said, "I will give you strength to withstand, to walk through the life or through this life with that problem that faces you, dealing through those situations." It's not always comfortable. It's not easy. But he says, "I am there." We need to remember the strength and the might of God. The strength and the might of God. We also need to remember that he says, "Fear not, for I am with you." I'm not walking through this world, through these situations by myself. God is ever present. If I'm willing to look to him, if I'm willing to seek refuge in him, as Nahum said, if I'm willing to give myself over as a servant, as is said here in Isaiah, then he is with me. He is willing to walk with me, give me strength, and help me through these situations. But I must seek him. I must seek him. I must earnestly give myself over and humbly tell him or seek him and say, "I don't have the power with which to face this situation. I need your strength. I need your might to help me as I walk through it." We're going to walk through it. We're going to walk through it, and we're going to face it, or we're going to go through it one way or another, with or without God, we're going to have to face that situation. But the outcome can be so much different facing it with God than it can be trying to face it under my own strength. I want to thank you for being here. I hope you hear those words that are being said, that God is there with us, that He's willing to care for us, that He's willing to help us if we seek Him. I want to thank you for being here, and may God bless.